are fighting over my headphone that fell out of my ear. Ah, it's gonna be destroyed. It's gonna be destroyed. Stop.
Welcome to Red's Homestead!
Good evening, one and all, and welcome back to Red's Homestead. So I'm actually in the middle of editing this video, and I realized I didn't even make an intro to it. If you've ever woken up in the morning and you just don't feel like talking to anybody, well, that's kind of how I felt on this the day of this recording, and I just got straight to work. So let me give you an idea on what we're doing. Well, today, I guess. If you remember a little while back, I started doing the Three Sisters planting method of our corn, beans, and for what I'm doing is watermelon. So only half my corn really took off. It was kind of strange. So I'm going to be replanting some corn. Also, I'm going to go ahead and start planting the beans in and get those started because the corn that did take is now 6 inches tall. Also, we're going to be taking the rabbits, the little babies, and getting them out into the tractor, and that's where they're going to be staying for the rest of their life, that they're at least here. So without further ado, here we go. So what we're going to be doing today as well is we're going to be moving all the rabbit babies, separating them from Mama, and bring them out to the rabbit tractor as their permanent home. So what I need to do before I move them out here is I'm going to add a couple more 2x2s to the bottom. I don't know if at their age they're going to really dig that much, but I know the adults, when we put them in there, they can dig some pretty deep holes because there's enough room to get their whole body in between the boards. So I'm going to add a couple more 2x2s just to help secure this. It's going to make it a little more heavy, but I think in the long term it's going to be better. There we go. Now that is going to be much better at keeping them from digging, and they still have plenty of access to the grass. They can lay down in the dirt if they want to, stay cool. Good improvement.
Just make sure they don't fall out. I know.
She's going to be the hard one to separate. She's the clingy one to Mama.
Oh, I thought it was a gray one. You might be right, though.
All right, Mama, you deserve a break from your chidlers.
We're not holding them correctly. All right, little babies. Abby, I'm going to get you on the grass, too. You can still see your babies. I don't think she really cares. You ready? Look. They can get under there.
Yeah. So being in here, they have now access to clover. We no longer have to supplement them with hay. We do still give them pellet feed, just to have the balanced diet. but no longer have to give them hay since they now have access to grass and clovers. And just so it's not a huge shock on this side over here, we're putting Miss Abby, the mama, so that she still can see them, just to see how things happen today. But I'm pretty sure they're at what, 5 weeks today?
Yeah.
They should be fine. They're fully weaned off. They are ready to be on their own. So we were having a problem with our solar fence energizer. It just wasn't giving off much of a shock at all. It was maybe 1200 volts, just not a lot. So what I did is I connected up this one right here that plugs into the wall and got that all set up, and it's now hitting pretty well. As you can see, it's hitting at the max. Probably, it says max is 8,000, but my other one shows it's about 10,000. I put it inside, just let it charge for a few days. I think the battery just completely drained because we had some muggy days for probably about 3 days in a row, so it didn't really have a chance to recharge. So that Energizer is telling me that the fence isn't grounding too bad that it won't get a charge. It has to be something with the extra power. So I'm gonna get this one hooked up and hopefully we have power again, because I need to use this fence down there with the rabbits. Well, that didn't fix it. It's gotta be something with the Energizer. So this is definitely not how you want to set up an electric fence. But until I can figure out how to get that solar one up and running again, this is what we're gonna have to do to make do. Extension cord going up to an Energizer. Jerry-rigged to run across the wall down to the grounding post, connected up to the fence itself. It's now kicking, and I could use my actual Energizer for the fence down there where it's actually needed the most. We really only need a little bit of a shock here just to remind them that, hey, it's on. We're not worried about predators getting in during the day, not that big a deal. And then they're cooped up in at night, also not that big a deal to have this fence here. It's more of just a deterrent for them to try to escape. Now we got to go get the poultry netting set up down there with the rabbits, get all of this wiring, move down there, and get that thing set up. All right, we got Fort Knox set up again. We have my little T-post Energizer thingy in there that I made. We've got our 3-foot fence wrapped around the rabbit tractors just for a little extra measure of protection. What's nice is we can move these rabbit tractors probably 14 times, 2 weeks, before we even have to do anything with the fence. And then I added something from when we did the meat chickens. Add a little something to make life easier. So instead of having to disconnect the power every time we wanted to go to the fence, I added this. It's a little gate handle. So all we do is hook this on, and right now, fence isn't powered, obviously, because right here, hook it back on, we're powered. Makes life easier. And they're only like $3.